Welcome, everybody, to Transforming Recruitment with AI Agents. My name is John Schroeder. I'm the Managing Director of Custom Research at SIA, and thank you all so much for joining us.
Thanks, John. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you are, I guess. But I'm very excited to be here and share with you all our experience deploying an AI agent within our recruiting processes. I'm very fortunate, I will say, to be at a very forward-thinking agency where really differentiation is always top of mind, and we aren't afraid of taking a few calculated risks. For any of you familiar, Staffing Solutions runs on EOS, or the entrepreneurial operating system. That's a mouthful. And really the main focus is how we're running and transforming our business with the ability to scale with processes that are repeatable and sustainable. So in addition, one of our core values is continuous improvement in everything that we do. And my role is really to find ways in which our teams can operate more efficiently, but most importantly, still provide that wow experience to every candidate and client that we work with. That's the kind of motto or passion that our organization started with in 1974. So we knew that we needed to be relying on AI as a key differentiator for our business. But honestly, I had no idea where to start. I'm a pretty risk averse person as well. I balance our CEO out pretty well. She's the visionary, and I'm always the one kind of making the questions. But we knew we had to start somewhere, right? And we knew that it would be a differentiator for our business. So really looking at our needs, which were, making sure that we're providing that wow experience, but also our desire to help our recruiters and give them the most innovative and effective tools to elevate their own engagements. It was really clear that deploying an AI agent would be an investment in both of those things, which were really important. So I was fortunate enough to learn about Converse AI while at the Bullhorn Engage conference a couple of years ago, actually. But we're a very small team. We outsource all of our IT. Just didn't really know where to begin, right? So we were really looking for a partner that was already considered an expert in the deployment, because I knew I wasn't going to be a whole lot of help. I'll be humble enough to say that. So, my number one piece of advice, is choosing a product where the partnership and the expertise is provided not just at implementation, but really throughout the process of deployment. And for us, integration with our ATS was critically important as well. So, after we'd chosen our partner for deployment of our AI agent, now came the scary part, right? So starting the integration and the adoption. So do you want to go to the next slide, John? Thank you. So as I mentioned, we are a smaller team. We've got 25 talented folks. We outsource all of our IT functions. So I was really without kind of that internal subject matter expert on the technical side. And in 2018, we implemented Bullhorn. So I was the project manager on that, and I knew kind of how an implementation should go, even if I didn't know all of the technical aspects of it. And so I knew that I kind of knew what to expect, but not on the technical side. So once we decided to kind of pull the trigger, I was really, really impressed with the deployment of our own virtual recruiter. And I will slip up. I'm sorry. I probably will refer to her as Jamie. That is what we have affectionately named our virtual recruiter. So, but throughout the onboarding experience, really three key aspects stuck out to me. And the first was speed. So deployment was very quick. We were up and running in less than a week from signing on. We were able to fill positions with those high quality candidates faster than ever. And we had our first placement that was initiated by our virtual recruiter within 2 days of turning on the software, turning on the application. So speed was definitely huge. Adoption can sometimes be tricky. As I mentioned, we're fortunate in our organization to have recruiters and account managers who have been with us in their roles for 5, 10, 15 years. We even have a recruiter and account manager who has been working with us for 30 years. So there's a lot of value there, right? They've really perfected their processes. They take pride in how they're creating transformational opportunities for candidates and clients. So it was really important that our leadership team shared our vision for AI as a company as a whole, and how we expected really the use of AI to impact our business. It remains a top priority for us, and we're committed to finding the latest and greatest tools and tech for our team. And Converse really helped get our staff up to speed. We used kind of a train the trainer model, and recruiters were really quickly utilizing the virtual recruiter pretty successfully. So the Converse AI team, they provided training aids and SOPs, and that we could really adopt without an extensive change management initiative. It's important that when you're searching for a partner to rely on them throughout the process to bridge that gap between the expertise I did not have, and allow them to bring that to the table, which was really, really huge. And that really speaks to as well the collaboration. So, when users, our internal staff provided us feedback on how to improve the virtual recruiters' outputs, it's important to work with a team that's really going to be responsive and helpful and hear those concerns, or those innovative ideas and opportunities. So as I mentioned, we have a really talented and tenured team, and it was important for us that our virtual recruiter supplemented and enhanced our process, so that when there were ideas of, hey, it would be great if Jamie could do XYZ, like a field write back. The Converse AI team was quick to talk with their engineers and say, hey, what is the possibility here? Even with just some really small tweaks, that really gave our team the confidence that our virtual recruiter was a true partner, wasn't working against us or trying to overstep us, and really was going to rely on that recruiter's expertise to fine tune and maximize kind of the experience. So next slide, please. Our partnership with an AI agent really couldn't have come at a better time for us. We'd actually just signed on a new client who had really great expectations of how quickly we were going to be able to impact their business, and some pretty lofty hiring goals, I would say. We were goals in regards to more speed and volume, I would say. We knew we had to do something differently. We had the challenge of filling 50 roles within 3 days, and no matter how talented our team was or experienced, a typical human recruitment pipeline just couldn't keep up with that demand in that short amount of time. But the virtual recruiter could contact hundreds of candidates simultaneously, which was really a game changer for our small team. And I have a little quote there, but the virtual recruiter really defies time and space for us. They can meet candidates where they are, and depending on the multiple follow-ups and the varying modes of trying to reach candidates, our AI agent quite simply performed the work that we would not have been able to do, and particularly in that very short time frame that we were given. It's also a top priority for us to provide a world-class candidate experience, meeting candidates where they are, when they're ready to interact. We've seen our candidate net promoter scores, which is a key indicator of candidate satisfaction, showing very positive feedback from applicants who feel well supported through a personalized experience. And I think Kristen and I had talked about this. Sometimes they're on the phone with Jamie, and we can listen to calls, and by the end of it, they forget. They're like, hey, Jamie, thanks so much for reaching out. It's great talking to you. So it was really important for us that experience was seamless as well. So next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry. That's one more back. One other quick item, but like all leaders, we have so many priorities, right? We've got revenue, candidate experience, client satisfaction, candidate satisfaction, staff training, staff engagement and retention. And, really deploying an AI agent was able to make an impact on every single one of those key areas and with relatively low effort, which was huge for us, especially when you make an investment. You want to make sure you're getting that ROI, of course. So, I wanted to share just, I guess, kind of a few stats that I think as leaders will really resonate that we've been able to realize over the past 9 months to a year. That there were a couple of stats on the screen there, but the biggest ones I think for us were that revenue impact, and those on the client side, those 50 positions filled within those 3 days. So of course, very impressive to our CEO and of course our finance team. But we also, for my team, was doing more on the operations side. Based on the outreaches and connections and the administrative work that our virtual recruiter was able to do. We saved just in that short amount of time 540 hours of recruiter phone time and 1,665 hours of administrative time on just those candidates. So, we added basically the time of a full-time recruiter at less than half the cost. So, based on the process changes that we've made internally, we anticipate that in this second year, we'll realize about 11,000 hours total saved. So that's what? 4 or 5 FTEs. I'm not a mathematician, but so as again, it was very impressive to our CEO and of course our finance team. The only problem is now they're tasking me with our next AI project. So always looking at how do we, do more, do it better, and do it faster. So, and we're very fortunate that our AI agent has been able to do that and hit on all of those aspects.
Thank you so much for attending. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. And we all want to wish you the best in navigating this new and exciting world of AI agents.